Welcome class. Today we're going to continue our lesson on the scientific method. Who here can tell me what we said the scientific method said last class? Yes, Michelle.
It's a way for scientists to study and learn things.
Yeah, exactly. It's a series of steps that scientists use to research something. So last class we talked about questions and observations, and we made a question about Alka-Seltzer reaction. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But before, I want to start defining a very key step in the scientific method, which is determining a hypothesis. So a hypothesis is a tentative testable answer to a specific question. So it's basically, what other scientists call it is an educated guess. So after you research stuff and you get the information, you gather it all around, and then you form a sentence that will determine the answer to your question. So what makes a good hypothesis? So a good hypothesis is clear. So it has clear language and easy language for us to learn. So at the end of the class, we'll make a hypothesis, and we have to take these into account. It has to be backed up by information, so the information that you researched before will be used to test this hypothesis. Which brings us to the next term, which it has to be testable. So it has to be, other scientists have to take it and then also test it to prove it. Does anyone have any questions? Yes?
What if you find out that your hypothesis was wrong?
If the hypothesis is wrong, it's fine, because it's supposed to be an answer to a question, and then you'll know and then make up another experiment. So a thing that scientists use to help them with hypotheses is a prediction, and these are used in if something, then something happens. So these if-then terms are really helpful, and we'll also make one later. So now, from last class, we discussed Alka-Seltzer and what it does in the reaction. So we saw that when you put an Alka-Seltzer tablet into a glass of water, then it makes a fizzy appearance. So I did some research so we can make a hypothesis. So in order for this to happen, the molecules from the tablet and the molecules from the water have to come in contact to make a reaction. They must also come in contact at a certain angle and at a certain energy. And this energy will come from the temperature of the water. And temperature can be a measure of the kinetic motion. And then another thing that I learned, and that you guys are also going to learn, is that the higher the temperature, the faster the molecules are moving. So now I want one of you to tell me what question we came up last time for the Alka-Seltzer pill. Yes, Julie?
Does the temperature of the water affect the fizzy reaction?
Yeah, that was an excellent question. So now I want you guys to discuss with your partners an if and then prediction like I told you. So if we do something, then something else will happen based on the information that I gave you guys. Michelle.
If the speed of the Alka-Seltzer dissolving depends on how fast the molecules will come in contact, then a high temperature will create fizz quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. That was a great prediction. So based on that prediction, I want you guys to talk with each other and write down a hypothesis that can make us then, next class, make a procedure to test it. Emma?
So we believe that the fizzy tablet will dissolve faster and create more bubbles in warmer water.
Yeah, excellent. These are all great. I'm really glad that you guys are all understanding the topic. So next class, I want you guys to, if you can, read up on procedures that we could probably do to test how the temperature can affect our hypothesis. But we'll discuss that next class. Now I want us to sing our little song to see that we understood the topic. If you want to make a prediction, you gotta use if and then. Making a hypothesis, an educated guess. If you want to be a scientist, you have got to think. This will make it easy to do experiments. Now you've learned about hypothesis?
We can start for real
to make experiments
that are surreal.
It may not be easy.
Let's give it a try.
If we work harder, question will clarify.
If you want to make a prediction, you gotta use if and then. Making a hypothesis, an educated guess. If you want to be a scientist, you have got to think. This will make it easy to do an experiment.
Good job, class. I'll see you next week.